time. So last time we were talking about like the date time thing, which was like there's like a module or like a package where you can like get the date and stuff in like milliseconds and like the epoch time. But right now I'm just gonna review the throws and like the exception handling stuff from about 2 weeks ago. So first, what is the difference between throws and throw? And then the second is, do we have to have a catch in the try catch block? So this is like a refresher. So I feel like a lot of you guys probably forgot this, which is fine, but I'm gonna give like a few minutes for everyone to just like try to answer these two questions in the chat, and then I'll just go over them. So you can also use Google if you want, but just try to answer these two questions and type in chat when you're done. So one person did answer the first question, and I think they're headed in the right direction. So yeah, they're that seems like relatively right. Okay, so some people have already answered, well, two people, but I can give around 1 or 2 more minutes for the rest of you guys to try to answer. It doesn't have to be right, just take a guess if you don't remember, or you can just like search it up on Google again to like refresh yourself. Okay, so it looks like some people answered, so For the first one, what's the difference between throws and throw? So yeah, one of them does have an S at the end, but that's not really the difference we're looking for. Basically throws is like usually at the method signature, like when you declare a method, like the method signature, you put like, if you know that you might have an exception, like you have to say like throws. Like if you know there could possibly be like an IO exception or something, then even if it doesn't happen, like you're supposed to put like throws, then the exception name at the top. But that's not actually like throwing an exception. It's just saying you could potentially get that exception. So that's like a way of handling it. And then throw is like it's like usually in a try catch block or like inside like some code or like in a method, like inside some code, as Lucas said, you can say like throw like new something exception like that, like actually like throws an exception. And that's like usually in like try catch blocks, like something will throw an exception or something like that, and then you like catch it. But yeah, just like throws is at the method signature when you think that there's gonna be some sort of exception in the method. And then for second one, do we have to have a catch in the try catch block? So a lot of people said yes, but technically it's no, because if you can have a try and then like just don't have a catch, but then you need to have a finally block. So if you have try, you either have to have catch, or like if you don't have a catch, then you need a finally block. So yeah, that is pretty much it. And then last time we were just like going over these date, like these methods from the date class, I think. Although I feel like this is not really important because I sent the API. I can send it again for you guys to look through it, but I don't think it's that important, to be honest. So I'll send it again if anyone wants to look through the methods. Oh yeah, there's also like a calendar class. Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna go over this class now. We didn't do the calendar class. Yeah, we did do the date class though. So the date class, basically you can get stuff like the current time in milliseconds, and like you can like print it out. And then we had like something where you can get like the end time, and then like you can just like see how long it takes to like print something. So I think that I did do something last time. Okay, so yeah, last time I think I did go over this, but like if you want to see how long it takes to print something, for example, you could just use the date class. So like as I'm gonna like copy paste this again, but all you do is just okay, wait. Oh yeah, so this basically like it printed out a new date object and then a new line. So this is like the current date, then the thread, like the system was like sleeping for this amount of time, then it printed out another date object and a new line, and then it calculated the difference. So the difference was the end time minus the start time. At the beginning, we had an object, a variable for the start time, which was the current time in milliseconds. Then we had a variable for the end time, which was the current time in milliseconds after we did all that stuff. So then we calculated the difference, end time minus start time, and just printed that out. It was 3,101 milliseconds. And then if there was some sort of exception, then we could have caught it, but there was no exception, so it was fine. Yeah, okay. I don't think we need to do this because this is kind of complicated and not everyone knows how to like save the text on a website to a text file. So this is basically just the same thing that we just did using the like current time milliseconds and then like current time milliseconds after we do some stuff and then just like finding the difference. So now I'm gonna go over the calendar class. So this is another useful class that handles date and time, and it's becoming more popular and takes over many methods used to be defined in date. The Gregorian calendar is a concrete subclass of calendar and provides a standard calendar system used by most of the world. So as we remember, subclass means like it's like a child of the parent. So in this case, it's saying that calendar is the parent class. This is like a class that's higher up in the tree. Then below it, there's the Gregorian calendar, which is a subclass. So like it's like a child of the calendar class. So I don't know if you guys know about inheritance, but basically since it's a child class or it's like a child of the calendar class, it's going to inherit a lot of the methods and stuff from the calendar class. And these are like some more, I think these are like the APIs for the Gregorian calendar class and the calendar class, and I'll send them in just a second. Okay, so first you're just taking a look at the calendar class. So it implements these interfaces, although I don't think you guys know what they are yet, so I'm not gonna really go over these. But these are just like the methods in the calendar class. So okay, you can get like the first week and wait. Okay, yeah, so these are all the methods. So you can add, takes in a field and amount, and it adds or subtracts this specified amount of time to the given calendar field. And then there's like this method after, which returns whether this calendar represents a time after the time represented by the object that you put into it. And then this is like, there's just a bunch of methods in the class basically that like does stuff for the calendar. And I'm not gonna go over all these because this would take too long, but if you like look over it in your own time, you'll see there's just like a ton of methods that do stuff. Oh wait, is lenient, tells whether daytime is to you, okay. And then there's also the Gregorian calendar one. And there's a lot of methods as well. You can add stuff, clone, which returns a copy of the current object. There's compute fields, which converts the time value to calendar field values. And then there's just like an equals method. Most classes have their own equals method. So basically like in the object class, or like pretty much all objects have an equals method by default, which like tells if two objects are equal. And but like a lot of classes, like they implement their own equals method that overrides that. So like this is basically like it's just like a method that tells if like two like objects of type Gregorian calendar are equal. So that's just basically what it does. And then there's just a lot of other stuff like getting the time zone, getting the week year, and then like if it's like a leap year, like it'll return true if it is a leap year, and like false if not, and stuff like that. Okay. So this is just another example. So basically here they made a Gregorian calendar object. So they had the object was just called G calendar, and then they just made a new object, and then they printed out to string, and then oh, let's test this out. So basically calendar, the get time method is going to return a date object. And remember, you have to, whenever you make like an object of the class that you don't have, you have to import that class first. Oh, Lucas, do you have a question?
So what's the difference between the Gregorian calendar and normal calendar thing?
I think Gregorian calendar is just like slightly different. I forgot I'm gonna search on the definition again, but I'm pretty sure it's like,
Which
wait,
one would use? Which one would you use? Like which one would is the most recommended?
oh, probably Gregorian, because that one's the one that's used in most parts of the world.
Okay.
So that's like the calendar that we use, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so I think that the calendar one is just like more general, but that's like a parent class of the Gregorian one. So basically like the Gregorian one has like most of the methods and stuff from the calendar class, but it has like some of its own stuff that's like more specific. So, okay, like what we see here, we're just gonna print this. Okay, well, this is just like, I'm pretty sure the toString method is just showing like, this is not stuff that we can actually really use, but like most toString methods, like you have to implement your own if you actually want like an accurate like string representation, because otherwise it's gonna do like a bunch of like stuff like this, which is just like the instance variables, which is not very useful. So system.out.print. And then they say that doing this, like printing out the get time is supposed to return a date object, so. Oh wait, let me try something. Yeah, so this returned the date, so it just printed out the date, so it was like Monday, October 3rd, and then like this kind of stuff, basically. So you shouldn't do the toString thing, because that's just gonna print out like the instance variables of your object. If you want to like get like an actual like date with this, you should do like the get time method. And then this is just another one, like getting calendar.month. I think this is like, oh shoot. Okay. Oh, oh wait. Yeah, this just put out the month, so it's saying like right now it's like the 9th month, like out of like the 12 months. And then you can also set it to like a date. So if you do this and then print out the month, it's probably gonna print out like 11. Yeah, so basically like set your own date and then like and you can also like print out the month and stuff like that. Then rejoin for all days. Okay, so I think we're gonna do like a small exercise. So I don't think we should do the second part because that might take too long. So we should just do the first part. So write code that finds the day of the month for today and then print it out. I'm gonna look on I think in the API, there's probably gonna be like the method that just shows you how to get the day of the month. Oh, to find the day of the month for today, print it out. Okay. So I'm pretty sure in like one of these methods, you can just like get the day of like the current month. So turns this from oh, okay. Okay. Okay, so basically, I'm pretty sure it's just this. This would just like get the day of the month, but you should probably okay, so I'm gonna send so just look in the calendar API basically, and then there's like a thing like this method right here. If you want the field like the day of month, you can just like get it by like doing like calendar.day of month. Oh, okay. Yeah. So this exercise should not be too hard, I think. Basically, all you want to do is just like use the calendar class. You don't or the Gregorian calendar class. I think you should, yeah, you should probably use the Gregorian calendar class, but you also need to import the calendar class. But you just want to write code that like just like prints out the day of the month for today, and then all you have to do is just like print it out. So if anyone needs help understanding the instructions, just let me know. But basically what I would do for this, just like import, make a new Gregorian calendar object, and then just like do like dot get calendar day of month, and that should work. But I'll give you guys a few minutes to try to do it on your own. And then when you're done, just like copy and paste your code in the chat. But I'll probably give like 5 to 8 minutes for this. So yeah.
So I did it, but it printed out 5.
Oh wait, okay, wait, can I see your code? Could you screen share?
Okay,
Just 1 second, I need to stop screen sharing mine. Wait.
like, let me just like screen share. Screen 1. Share. It's like
Mhm.
day of the month is calendar day of the month, because it says here that there's this thing called day of the month that, oh shoot.
Oh wait, I don't see the eclipse. I just see the like the wallpaper.
Oh, what?
Oh wait, did you click on eclipse?
Wait,
Ew.
not sure.
It might have to do with like the screen sharing settings, because I think some of
Is it
them.
working
Yeah,
now?
now I see it.
Yeah, so apparently there's this, I looked in the documentation and it said that there's this function for method for day of the month.
Wait, did you make a, you need to make a calendar object first, because I feel like that's like some sort of, did you make like an object for the Gregorian calendar?
No, because when I tried to find this method in the Gregorian calendar documentation, it didn't exist, but it did exist in
Oh, it does. No, the reason why is because, so I don't think you know yet, but like, what is it called? So like, since the Gregorian calendar is a subclass of the calendar class, it inherits a lot of the methods of the calendar class. So they probably just they override the methods of the calendar class. So that's why they can use it. But yeah, so yeah, you can just make a new Gregorian calendar object and then try it.
like dot. Wait, I forgot how to do this.
Oh, you don't need to do equal, just like parentheses and then like, oh no, yeah, no, that's good. And then yeah, new. Oh,
Yeah,
no,
I'm
no.
just
Yeah, that's good. Then new and then Gregorian calendar. And now just do two parentheses. Yeah, that's good. And then do like Greg Cal dot Greg Cal, and then I think it's actually oh Greg Cal dot get.
what?
Yeah, get. And then calendar dot day of month, I'm pretty sure.
Uh, eh,
Yeah, calendar dot day of month.
uh,
Oh, yeah, it has a, yeah, day of month, not the month, just month. Yeah, I think it should work now if you try printing it.
yeah. Thank
Yeah,
you.
so now it works.
Right
Because I'm
then.
pretty sure the calendar one is like different. Or like that one is like set to some default number. I don't know.
Wait, then why would it? Wait, why did it print out 5?
Oh, I'm guessing, well, I didn't read all the documentation, but I'm guessing that like that static variable like might be set to some default like value, or like the calendar like is just like, well, you didn't make a calendar object either, so I think that static variable is just like by default set to 5 or something, but I'm not sure.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. I think I'll give like 2 or 3 more minutes, but also Owen already got the answer, which is pretty good. That's, yeah, so I'll give like a few more minutes. Okay, yeah, so basically, I think Owen was right, or the people who did like send their code were right. So you just have to make a Gregorian calendar object and then just like do calendar.div month. So, um, yeah, I'm just like looking through the API again, but I think that, wait, hmm, uh, Okay. Oh, okay. I'm looking at the default values for the day of the month thing. Mm. Oh yeah, so basically, yeah, there's some default values for each field. That's why you were like getting 3. So um calendar uses their default values. The default value of each field may vary by calendar systems. Yeah, so I think it just had a default value, so that's why you have to like make a object first and then do the like day of the month thing. So yeah, okay. Geez, why is this so small? Okay. Assume that the day is. I think I'm gonna not do this quiz for now. It's like really small and it's kind of hard to read, so I'm just gonna see what this word. Yeah. Oh, I mean, I don't even think you guys can do this because there's like some of these methods you don't know, like get instance and stuff like that. Well, get instance basically like checks if like usually the like get instance method checks if it's like an instance of a class or subclass similar to the get class method, but I don't think you guys know that yet. So I think I'm just gonna skip that. Identify times as electrical predicts. These are like very specific things, but how to identify if a time zone is eligible for dates. I think I'm just gonna do the Java review in general, because these are all like things that are specific to each one of these like classes that I don't think are particularly useful. You can always like look at the APIs for them. So this is a small quiz. So this is the parent class of error and exception classes. This one should not be too hard. So which one of these like classes, like these are the names of classes, but which one of these is the parent class of the error and exception classes? I'll give like a few minutes for you guys to answer, but just type in chat when you're done. Okay, seems like a lot of people already answered, but I think there's still a few more people that should answer. If you don't really know, just like take a guess, but Okay, so it seems like most people said A and that is correct. So the throwable class is the parent class of all exception and errors. So when you so the try catch things, so when you like do a catch block, the only things you can catch are like subclasses of the throwable class or the throwable class. So like it has to be one of those. You can't like catch like something that's just like not even like that's like not one of those subclasses or is in the throwable class. So like also when you like say like something like a method throws an exception, it has to be like subclass of throwable or throwable. You can't just do like some random object. You can't just like throw like random objects basically. So yeah, A would be correct. We already went over this, but is it necessary that each try block must be followed by a finally block? Oh, well, we didn't go over this exact one. So type in chat which one you think it is, but yeah, it's just like true or false. I think most people answered, but wait. Okay, so I think most people have answered. I don't know if Dio is AFK or something, or like if I don't know, he's like muted, but oh, okay, nice. Okay. Okay, yeah, that's fine, because I'm gonna go over it anyways, but most people, they said B, which is false, which that's correct, because it says, isn't necessary that each try block has to be followed by a finally block. You think about that, like try blocks, they usually have a catch block, but you don't need a finally block. Like you can, finally is just optional to include, but like whatever is in the finally block pretty much always runs, but you don't need to include a finally block. If you have a catch block, you don't need to include finally. However, if it's just a try block, you do need to like have a finally block. And if there's no catch. Oh, okay. Yeah, so basically it's just for those of you that missed it, it's just false. So try block does not always need to be followed by finally. Oh, okay, so this is cool. So I don't think you guys know this one too well, but so you might have to take a guess on this one, but what is the default value of a byte variable? So a byte is one of the primitives, I'm pretty sure, yeah. So a byte is like, it takes 1 byte of storage and it's just like, it's like smaller than an int. So it goes like, oh, okay, so some people have already started answering, but okay, so yeah, so basically more about what a byte is. So there's primitive variables in Java, which are like int, short, long, float, byte. And car, boolean, like those are primitives. Primitives are just like variables are like stored in the stack. I don't think you guys know what that is, but and then there's also reference variables. Reference variables are just your objects. So like strings are reference variables. Any type of object is a reference variable. So like so yeah, so both of these like primitives and reference variables are usually they have different default values, but most like I'll give a hint, they're just usually like 0, but some form of 0 basically. But like a byte is not a reference variable. So think of a byte as like some sort of number that is really small basically. I'll probably give like 1 more minute, but if you don't know, just take a guess, or you can like Google it. But yeah. Okay, so I think I'm just gonna go over it now because I gave a decent amount of time. So basically, it would be A, it's just 0 because a byte is just like a really like you can use like really small numbers. Like bytes can only store really small numbers in Java. Like I'm pretty sure it literally just uses like 1 byte of space. So yeah, it's just 0. Like basically all primitives are initialized to 0, like by default. No, they're actually not initialized, but the default value is 0. So like yeah, so like basically like int would be 0, short is 0, I think long is like 0, float is 0, and then like car is like ASCII code 0, which is I don't know what exactly it is. I just know it's like the code for 0. and Boolean is, I think, false by default. And yeah, so they're basically all just by default or initialized to 0 for primitives. And then for reference variables, they're initialized to null by default, because like an object is just like null if it has no value. So yeah, it'd be A for this one. There's the cursor. Okay, so this one is just saying, what is the correct syntax for a main method of a Java class? So in Java, like we have a main method, this like the driver method, it like runs, you can actually like run code and stuff, like execute your classes and your code. So you pretty much, I think everyone has like seen this, but you can even like just look in your Eclipse at what it says, but just take a guess or like see which one of these you think is the correct answer. Oh, okay. So, if you have to go, that's fine. But if you want to like, because like we're still gonna go over some stuff after this. If you want to see, the recording is just gonna be posted. But yeah, you can go if you have stuff to do. So yeah, I'm gonna go over it now. So the answer is C. It's just public static void main string args. It's just like syntax you have to remember, but usually like the Eclipse will like do it for you if you forget it as well. So it's just C. Those correction document. I feel like this one's pretty easy, but basically, what do you think is the correct syntax to output hello world in Java? Like, how do you print out hello world, basically? I think this one should be pretty easy. Okay, so most people already guessed it, but it's just D, like none of the prints. The C is actually almost the correct syntax for Python. You just do like print, but you don't have these ending like apostrophe thing. And yeah, it's just D for Java. It's just system.out.println. ln just means like new line. So after you print out hello world, the cursor is gonna go to the next line. If you just do print without the ln, the cursor stays on the same line. And I think I'm gonna look on, yeah, we're gonna go we can finish the rest of these like quizzes like for homework or a different time. Because there's a lot of them, so I don't think I'll have time for that. So I'm just gonna start going over some other stuff. So now I'm just gonna, I feel like everyone might know this by now because we've been using them already. But methods are basically just functions and they're a block of code that performs certain actions and it only runs when it's called. So a method provides a way to reuse the code. So it's just like a definition for like, think of like something that it like as a definition and you can use like many times. So like, I don't know how to explain it, but like, it's like a function basically. So the method has parameters, which are data that or arguments that you pass into the method. The method accepts those arguments and they're bound to a class and they're considered the behavior of the class. So basically if you think about it, so like instance variables, I don't know if you know what they are yet, but instance variables are the state of the class. They define like basically characteristics of the class. Methods are the behavior of the class, like what the class can do. So let's say we have a class that's like called dog. This dog class has behaviors and it also has a state. The state of the dog class is characteristics such as like the color, the fur, the age of the dog, the weight of the dog. These are all instance variables of the class. The behavior of the class dog is methods that the dog can do. So there could be a bark method, a run method. These are all behaviors that the dog can do. So that's why they're called the behavior of the class, basically. So a method has to be declared within a class. And it is defined with the name of the method followed by parentheses. If the method does not accept any arguments, you will put like nothing in these parentheses. But if you want to pass in some arguments, you can like define them within the parentheses. So this is like the main method is just this syntax. And then here the method name is main. So what is the rest of the line? Public static void main. So as you can see, this is the main method. Void means nothing. It doesn't return anything. Void just means it returns nothing, or you can use return, but then you just like don't have anything after that. And then this is just like the first bracket defines the beginning of the main method body, and then this bracket defines the end. Okay, so a method has 6 components. So there's a modifier which defines the access in the method. So like public, private, defaults, basic or like protected, like those are all like access modifiers. So yeah, I mean, I don't think you guys know too much about the subclass stuff. So we'll just like pay attention to public for now. Public means that you can access this method everywhere in your program. There's also private, which means the class, you can only access the method within the class it's defined. So like, yeah, so you can't get this method anywhere else besides in the class. And then default means you can access it within the same class in the same package that the class is defined. And then we have return type, method name, parameters. I feel like it's easier if I just like show you because it's kind of hard to like tell from here. Let me find an example. So okay. Oh god. Okay, so let's see. So this is a method right here, this thing. So this kind of like, this whole thing is a method. And the first thing says public. So that's because, okay, the reason why it says public here is because this method can be accessed from anywhere in the program. So public just means like you can use this method basically anywhere. And when you get more advanced at programming, you'll know that that's not actually good. You don't want your methods to be public. Usually you want things to be private because like, or protected because you don't want people to have access to your program and methods. Otherwise it's kind of dangerous. But basically for the example, I'll just show it just says public. So that's the access modifier. It's a public method. You can use it anywhere like in the program. Then int. So int means that this will return something that's like the type integer. So this method is going to return something, and whatever that is, the type is going to be int. So that's what the second thing here is. Then this is just the name of the method. So the name is number of enemies remaining. And then we had the parentheses. You always need parentheses, but in this case, we have nothing in these parentheses because this method doesn't accept any arguments. It doesn't like take in anything. Then we have the first curly bracket, last one that completes the method. So as you can see, it returns something, and whatever blue is, it's going to be an integer. So that's basically what the method is. And there's another one. So this one right here, it's going to take, it's also public. It returns an integer. It's called get distance, and it takes in an integer and two integers. So first one, you always have to like declare the type of the variable you're accepting. So we wanted something of type int, so we have to say that. And then this is just the name, like whatever, you can like name it anything. But basically these are the parameters. And yeah, that's basically what it is. And you can, they're very like customizable. You can do like a bunch of stuff with them. You don't always have to do this, but if you think your method's gonna throw an exception or something, like you can just say like throws some sort of exception in the signature. But none of these do that, so I'm gonna try to find an example with that, but okay. Yeah, I don't think I have any of that, but usually like if you know it's gonna throw an exception, you just like do like throws like some sort of exception. Yeah, like you, if you think it's gonna throw an exception, you put like throws then the exception name. And yeah, but that usually doesn't happen, so. Yeah, and then, yeah, so that's basically what it is. So you have your modifier, which is like public, private, like right now, you're probably just gonna write public methods. Like, so you want it to be public usually, because for now, like, I don't think you guys need to like do any other stuff, but the access modifier, then like the return type, this one is gonna return something of type integer. Then it's gonna, well, it's actually int, but I just say that because I feel like people are going to get confused, but it's actually int. Integer is something else. Integer is a wrapper class for int, but basically it's going to return an int. Then here's the method name, which is just called max for this method. Then these are the parameters, accepts two ints, and like they can be, they're just called x and y, but that's not, you can change that. And then it just returns something, but the return thing has to be of type int. So yeah. And when a parameter is passed to the method, it's called an argument. Oh, okay. So they're getting into stuff that's like polymorphism, but I really don't think you guys will know that right now. So I'm probably gonna skip that for now. But basically overloading means we have different methods, but they have like different, like same method signature, but like the parameters are different. And they can all be in the same class. So they can all do different things as long as the parameters are different. They can have the same name. So this is an example. So they just have to have something different in the method signature, basically. So they can all have the same name, but they have to like accept different things or like return different things. And this is just another example of like common method syntax. If you wanted to do some method that returns the sum of two ints, you would just do it like this. And when you want to call a method, you need to first create an instance of the class. Basically, you need to make an object of that class. Then you can call the method from that class. So you have to do the name of your object dot and then the method name, and then like it'll pop up for you. So this is example. So first they had a class that was called first Java, they made an object from the first Java class that was called myCLS. This is the syntax for instantiating a new object. Then they printed out their object.getSum method. So this is going to basically return the sum of these two numbers. And also it's now 7 p.m. So the class is going to be ending for today, but I'm probably going to post the rest of the exercises as some homework, and then also like probably some more like information about the method stuff. But if you don't have any questions, you're free to go, but otherwise stay if you have any questions.